Welcome to Art Intertwined, Episode 7, presented by the Artist Guild of Anna Maria Island. This is Wendell Graham, your host. This week we find that intertwining the arts has a long cast: ties, flies, fish, paint, pen and ink, and storytelling. It will reel you in, so sit back, relax, and, oh wait, did I mention nymphing, emergers, streamers, a royal woof? No? Well then how about a clouser deep minnow? A woolly bugger? How about a crabfly? Still no? I must have mentioned a gurgler, a seducer, a marabou muggler. Maybe not. So watch and listen in. Episode 7, Art Intertwined. Welcome. Let's start off today's episode with Carol Jean Klingensmith. Carol's artistic development started with oil painting and stained glass. But from that point, she journeyed into watercolor painting, and then you're going to see many of Carol's paintings here. She fell in love with that medium because of its vibrancy, spontaneity, and excitement. Now, Carol's family consists of several outdoor and nature enthusiasts, including her son, Kirk, who is an avid fly fisher, catch and release, and fly tyer. Recently, many of her paintings have focused on fish, flies, aquatics, and the incorporation of his catches and flies into the scenes. Let's listen in. I have Carol Klingensmith, our artist of the moment. Carol, tell the audience how you got started in painting.
I started painting in actually first grade. I had private lessons because my father felt that if I was to be a young lady, I was to have painting and music in my life. I went from there and continued on and went into oil painting whenever I was probably 20 years old. And I liked it, but my instructor up north said, "Carol, you're a berry picker." She said, "I want you to go to watercolors, and once you learn how to paint faster, you come back to oils." Well, obviously, I went to watercolors. I loved it, and I've never even thought about going back to oil painting.
That's terrific. So, Carol, you'll be known as the berry picker painter. You do a lot of fish in your fly fishing fish and fishing ties in your work. Tell us, how did you start painting flies in your work?
Our son is a fly tyer, and he began tying flies when he was 8 years old. He's now 60, and he ties amazing flies. And I thought they're so beautiful, why not put them into small paintings? So I began painting the flies. They would photograph them, send them down to me from New York, and I would paint them. It was a very good thing for me to have these paintings, and I did well in selling them. It was a lot of fun, too, I have to say, because I'm a berry picker.
Okay, terrific, great. And one last question. Do you have a favorite color on your palette that you like to use?
No, I really don't. I love color. As you know, whenever I dress, I even love color. And I don't have a favorite.
All right. Well, that we just heard from Carol Klingensmith, our AKA the Berry Picker. And she does absolutely beautiful work. Thank you, Carol. You have a wonderful day.
You too, and we'll talk to you later.
The calico bass that Carol Klingensmith has painted here, chasing the Grim Reaper fly, is a scrappy fish averaging 1 to 3 pounds, and it lives in the kelp, so that's why it's also referred to as a kelp bass. It's a hard-hitting fish for its size and are smart enough to go back into the kelp and wrap up your lines if you're not careful. So if you're going to fly fish them, you do it from the surface to depths of about 30 feet or so, and usually use a fast sinking line such as the popular integrated shooting taper lines. So have fun. Go out and catch a calico bass. Now, we've all listened to wonderful fish tales told by fishermen over the years, but sometimes one of those tales just touches your heartstrings. This next one is by Janet Razzie, one of our artists and a fly fisherman herself. Janet recalls fondly the days she spent with her father Homer learning how to tie flies and fly fish. Janet writes, "I remember his patience and attention to detail. He would demonstrate, then make me do my own. If needed, he made me do it over. He never worked on mine, so when I finished, I could say I did it by myself. It wasn't just spending a day with Dad. I always learned something, whether it was how to tie a fly, how to cast, or what bird was making a noise by a stream. Now, anything in the woods, lake, or stream was meant to be a learning experience. And that was a big influence because I later became a biology and environmental science teacher. Now, Dad was also a natural artist, and that was passed on to me along with the love of nature. Most of my artwork, in fact, is influenced by the natural world around me." Now, if you asked me what my favorite fish was, I would say fly fishing for rainbow trout and brook trout mostly. Janet Razzie, reflecting back on her days with her father Homer. Our next fish tale is with Artist Guild of Anna Maria Island member, artist and fly fisherman Val Dweck. Listen in. I'm here with Val Dweck, one of our artists, who is also a fly fisherman. And Val has fished all over the world for many years. Hi, Val.
Hi, Wendell.
Val, can you
Everyone.
tell our audience what you enjoy the most about fly fishing?
I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the outdoors and being on my own. You can get your thoughts together by yourself and really enjoy the environment.
That's terrific.
It's very challenging, yes.
Okay, great. And do you have any? What tip would you give to a beginner?
Practice before you go out, and it's tick tock.
TikTok.
Just
What's
practice
TikTok?
before you go on. It is the rhythm of your rod. You go back at a tick, and you come back and you hit the water lightly with a tock. Tick, tock.
That's it, folks. We have Val Dweck, our TikTok fly fisherman and artist. Val, do you have a favorite fish?
Yes, I do. I love to catch steelhead, which is really a hunt. It is very exciting.
Where is it found?
In New Zealand. I'm sure there are other places, but I was in New Zealand, and it is a hunt because you have to see it to catch it. And it is a trout that is born in fresh water and swims out to the ocean and comes back to spawn in the fresh water. So when you hook one, you can spend hours bringing it in. So it is very, very exciting.
And do you have to use a special line or fly rod?
Yes, a little bit. Yes, your line has to be a little bit stronger, and you do use a different fly, depending the season that you're there.
Oh, that's terrific. Thanks, Val.
Thanks, Wendell.
Well, that's a wrap for episode 7 of Art Intertwined, brought to you by the Artist Guild of Anna Maria Island. This is Wendell Graham, your host. I'm going to cast off. Have a great week.